think many people, when we speak about love, many people, like, they're made to think love is something, it's romantic, it's glamorous, it's about appearance, it's about emotion, quick emotions or something. Like, there's no really understanding of love. And many parents even, they give children many things, but they don't give them love, you know. They think that by giving them all the latest gadgets and holidays or whatever, but if they don't love them, if they don't show them that they love them and spend time with them and tell them, I love you, I love you, I love you, you know, they tell a little baby that many times a day. The child doesn't believe it. It's amazing how many people grow up thinking that they're not loved. Yeah.
It's human connection. It's some of the biggest value that we can have in the world.
Yeah.
The human connection and the ability to be vulnerable with others.
Yes.
And to see their love towards us and their acceptance towards us as well. So a lot of children right now lack it. So they seek it sometimes in communities that are misguided, that have malicious intentions, that want to sell something to you, or to take something from you.
Yes. I think there's a great lack of trust, because people are usually, you say, what's their agenda? You know, if somebody is nice to you, for a change, you say, what do they want? You know, what do they want now from me? What is their agenda? It's very hard to believe in ordinary human goodness, isn't it? To believe in it. But it's what we're looking for. Yeah, it's what we're looking for. You said something there that I would like to go back on. Yeah, they need to be loved, and they need to express it. Like, people, I think when I was growing up as a child, we did have a happy family, but parents were not so, they didn't say very easily, I love you, you know. They would say it in different ways, but especially the men in the families were very reticent, you know. They would stand back a little bit, and they wouldn't hug a child so much, or maybe a small child, yes, but they wouldn't. But now I notice in my family, the next generation and the generation after that, there's a lot of very natural hugging, and, you know, when they meet, even cousins, you know, when boys or girls, cousins, they meet, they give a big hug, and they're very natural with each other. But I think that kind of wider family and the connection between cousins or friends of cousins or something, this kind of close family, it helps people to have confidence and to say what they want to say, doesn't it? Do you find that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's something that I was also seeking to have in my life.
Yeah.
That acceptance, the familial acceptance, that feeling of home, that there is always a way to come back. Because I don't know if you remember how my family has treated me when I was in a difficult situation. Almost everybody there kind of distanced themselves from me, judged my decision.
Yes.
So now I have finally found a way to reconnect with them.
Yes, that happens too, yes. And I think what the word is, I remember the word you mentioned now that I think is so important, and it's acceptance. For me, actually, one of my basic beliefs is the uniqueness of every individual. I'm so convinced, and I love people, and I love even people who are a bit different. The more different they are, the more I just love them, you know, because I think human beings are so unique, so different. But sometimes young people, especially young people, they're trying to be like everybody. They want to wear the same shoes, have the same hairstyle. They want to be part of the peer group, but that's not the same as acceptance for yourself, you know. And for me, this is one of the key issues of modern life, you know, to let a person be themselves and value them for themselves. And because they are different, because they are unique, because there's nobody like them, you know. And I find it like right now, there's young couples that I know with a small baby. I know 3 couples at the moment that have a little baby, but 6 months, 9 months, a year and a while, and they're all so different. Every baby does the same thing. Every baby wants to learn to walk, and every baby at a certain age pulls down every book in the house and opens every drawer or something. But each one has their own little way, And I think you see it in children, the difference. But then, especially teenagers, they begin to want to fit in. And so they have to fit into some expected model, I don't know what it is nowadays, I don't know. But for example, when I was young, it was you had to be slim, you had to be, girls were even becoming anorexic or something because they weren't slim enough, or they weren't, and they ruined their health, or they ruined their personality trying to be this model, But I don't know, you might tell me, what is expected of young persons now to be accepted? Is it to be good at technology or something? Or
I think for me it was also a lot about appearance and a lot about behavior. So the way I found acceptance and community when I was younger, when I was in school, was also to dress a certain way,
yes.
to look a certain way,
yes.
to be interested in certain topics.
Yes.
For us, it was watching the same YouTube channels.
Yes.
It was playing the same video games.
Yes.
To have some point of contact.
Yes, that's right. And I think for boys, sport was usually very good, but it was, I think it was a healthy way, to belong to something, to belong to a team. And I think that was one way that young people can feel that they connect with somebody, that they feel accepted. So I think this is, if you, for example, now, if you have a friend or a partner, a life companion, you hope that you'll have family, I think it is very, very important for children to grow up being valued as they are, because very, very often you have a younger brother trying to be like the older brother, or the parents wanting the young one to study what they wanted. A father who wanted to be a lawyer and never made it, he will want his son to be a lawyer or something, but it's not his gift. But I think in families, if they can recognize the uniqueness of the person, I think then the person can be accepted for themselves, even if they're not the right size and they don't wear the right clothes or something. Yeah. And this is, I think, a lot of young people feel stressed out because of this, trying to keep up with it.
Yeah, I think a lot of young people, they haven't figured out their direction in life yet. So they are just trying to fit into the molds that other people gave them.
Yeah.
Their parents, their friends, the communities online that they are in. I think that that is great that we have now such online communities, because people who were ostracized before, who couldn't fit into physical community before, they can find like-minded people now, like all the people who don't fit into the mold, people who have different interests than their cities and their bubble.
Yes.
They can go online and they can find people there who are also interested in those more rare things.
Yes. And do you think that satisfies? Like, I've often heard people say that, like, they could have 100 friends or more, 500 friends online, and I'm part of the same Facebook or whatever it is. But does that satisfy you now, for example? If you had lots of friends on, let's say, in one of these groups or bubbles or whatever you call it, on the internet, would you be satisfied? Would it satisfy you?
I don't focus on that anymore. I used to want to have a lot of followers.
Yes.
But when you have such a big bubble of people, you have very brief connection to all of them, or none at all.
Yes.
But I think you can find true friendship and true connection with somebody across the world. But it's not just a Facebook friend or a follower on Instagram.
Yes.
It's somebody who you truly talk, who you truly connect with, who you can discuss your worries with.
Yes. Actually, I think that is true. When I was a child, we had, it was the days before television, and all this. We had, it was very popular to have pen friends. And I remember I had a pen friend who was a leper, a young girl who had leprosy. I forget what country she was in. But somehow we were able to exchange letters because it was, there was medication and so on, so she wasn't isolated like the people you read about, that unclean, don't come near, not this kind of thing. But she had been affected by leprosy. And some people, for example, were affected by AIDS or different illnesses that were not understood, So they can find support. And we used to love these letters. And there was even, there was a book when I was a child called Daddy Longlegs, I think. And it was a young person that was writing to a young girl who was writing to an older man. I don't know how they met as pen friends, but eventually they actually met in person. It was a very lovely story. But it was through pen pal, but that was one-to-one. You had a pen friend and you would write and tell them about your experience in your country, and they would write, especially if it was very far away. In those days when we didn't have television and you didn't have so much travel, somebody from India or Africa was like, it was exotic, to have a pen friend in those countries. And it was something you could trust. But now some of the problems with these friendships online too is people have to be careful, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that have malicious interests that reach out to people who are seeking something in life, seeking some meaning, seeking some guidance.
Yes.
To people who are lost, and they reach out with bad intentions.
Yes. I know somebody even quite recently heard of some adult, that he was communicating with some woman in another country and thought it was for like business connection, and then it became like exchanging photos, and this person at the other side was actually cheating, like it was all a scam. And when she had got him like hooked, then he sent some money and was supposed to start a business, and the whole thing was a sham, So these are all the dangers. So I think maybe we have, thank you for your questions, and it's lovely speaking to you, and we can meet again, and I'd love to talk to you again about, because you are coming from a different generation, totally different from mine, and I'm lost in a wonderland, as they say, when we talk about internet and all this. It's foreign for me, but I'm trying to keep up with it, but when I meet somebody like you, it's like it's your world, it's your world.